They've written headlines about his records, his goals, his cars, his celebrations, but what the media won't tell you about Cristiano Ronaldo is the story that can't be captured in statistics or luxury. It's the story of a man who built an empire not from privilege but from pain. A man who learned that fame is hollow, success is fragile, and greatness is lonely. Behind every highlight reel, behind every magazine cover, there exists a side of Ronaldo the world rarely sees, the raw, unpolished truth of who he really is. The media will tell you about the boy from Madeira who became the best in the world. But they won't tell you how that boy used to cry himself to sleep at 12 years old in a small dorm in Lisbon, far from his family, mocked by teammates who thought he'd never make it. They won't tell you how he trained until his feet bled, not for fame, but to silence the voice inside him that whispered, "You're not enough." They'll show you his smile, his trophies, his luxury, but they won't show you the loneliness behind it. The truth is, Ronaldo's life has been a constant battle between the man and the myth. The cameras capture the myth. The world adores the legend. But behind it stands a man who had to sacrifice everything: childhood, comfort, normalcy to become what the world demanded him to be. The media will show you the goals, but not the grief. When his father died in 2005, Ronaldo didn't take a break. He didn't cry in front of cameras. He trained harder. He smiled for interviews. He performed as if nothing had happened. But inside, something broke. The man who taught him love through football was gone, and the boy from Madeira had no one to share his victories with anymore. Every goal since has been a tribute, a silent message sent upward. "I did it, Dad." They'll call him arrogant, self-obsessed, and overly competitive, but they won't tell you where that fire comes from. When Ronaldo was young, his mother once told him they couldn't afford the bus fare for training. He walked miles every single day. That hunger, literal and emotional, burned into his identity. He wasn't born confident. He built confidence out of rejection, out of the fear of returning to nothing. The media celebrates his body, the abs, the perfection. But they never talk about the discipline behind it. He eats the same meals at the same times. He sleeps in controlled cycles for maximum recovery. He's turned his body into a machine, not out of vanity, but out of obsession, because he fears time more than any opponent. Every workout is a fight against aging, a refusal to fade. He knows one day the boots must come off, and that terrifies him more than losing a final. The world talks about his fame, but not its curse. Ronaldo can't walk freely anywhere. A simple dinner with family turns into chaos. His children don't get normal childhoods. Every smile, every touch, every expression recorded, judged, analyzed. Privacy, the most human luxury, is something he hasn't known for over 2 decades. The media praises his success, but ignores how fame slowly stripped away his humanity. They'll report every rivalry, every moment of tension with Messi, every glance caught on camera, but they'll never admit how much Ronaldo respects those he competes against. He's not fueled by hatred, but by admiration. The rivalry doesn't make him bitter, it makes him sharper. While others crave validation, he craves evolution. Every competitor is a mirror that reflects what he still has to conquer. What the media won't tell you is how much pain hides behind his perfection. Ronaldo has played through injuries that would have sidelined others for months. Torn muscles, bleeding feet, excruciating ankle pain, yet he trained, smiled, performed. He doesn't believe in excuses because he grew up in a world where no one cared about them. His entire career has been a defiance of pain, physical, emotional, mental. They'll tell you he's rich, they won't tell you how he gives it away. Ronaldo donates quietly millions for children's hospitals, surgeries for the sick, rebuilding homes after disasters. He never advertises it because to him, kindness isn't a show, it's a duty. He once said privately, "I remember what it felt like to have nothing. That's why I never forget to give." The media talks about his brand, CR7, the empire of clothing, hotels, and business. But they don't talk about how all of that began not for ego, but for security. He saw what happened to athletes who lost everything after fame. He wanted to protect his family from that fate. Behind the millionaire image is a boy who grew up in fear of losing what little he had. That fear never left, it only evolved into drive. They'll show you his celebrations, the chest out, the roar, the confidence. But they won't show you what that moment really means. That scream isn't arrogance, it's release. It's the child who was told he wouldn't make it, finally answering the world. It's decades of rejection, sacrifice, and sleepless nights exploding into one sound. And they'll never show you how he doubts himself. Yes, Cristiano Ronaldo, the symbol of perfection, doubts. He questions whether he's still good enough, still fast enough, still worthy of the crown. He hides it well, but those who know him say he watches his own missed chances for hours, replaying them until they stop haunting him. He doesn't fear losing games, he fears losing his edge. The media will highlight his age as a weakness. They'll call him past his prime. But they won't tell you that every time someone says that, Ronaldo takes it personally. That's why he's still scoring when others his age retire. Because he refuses to let the world write his ending. He doesn't want to be remembered as someone who was great. He wants to remain great until his final breath. They'll never reveal how much of his life he hides to protect his peace. Behind the cameras, he's not surrounded by noise. He prefers silence, his family, his mother's cooking, a simple game with his kids. No flash, no filters. Just life. Because after years of fame, he's realized something powerful. All the things that matter most can't be bought, can't be captured, and can't be published. The media will always tell you about the legend of Cristiano Ronaldo. But they'll never show you the man, the boy who survived poverty, heartbreak, criticism, and loneliness to become the most disciplined athlete of his generation. They'll never show you his tears, his fears, or his sleepless nights, because those don't sell headlines. But that's where the real story lives, in the shadows of the spotlight, in the moments when the cameras turn away. The truth they won't tell you is that Ronaldo's greatness wasn't built by fame, it was built in spite of it. Cristiano Ronaldo is not just the product of talent, he's the product of resilience. A man who turned pain into power and doubt into destiny. A man who walks through the darkness of fame every day and still chooses to shine. And that is what the media will never tell you.